You already know who I am. I'm gonna go ahead and start skipping over introductions just because of the fact that one, it takes a while, and anybody who's been following on here, keeping up with me, you already know who I am. You know what I do. I'm not on here for monetization. I'm not on here to stroke anybody's ego. I'm not on here to seek a bunch of views and likes and things like that. I just want to go ahead and I'm hoping that the things that I say and what I bring to this platform reaches those that need to hear it. That is all that I'm really here for. I'm not trying to be like other people. I don't need all that extra stuff. So I'm sure all y'all just heard that. I am also on TikTok. With that, anybody who's on to TikTok and ends up typing something, will read it to me. So I got one of my homeboys on Discovered, which we go back to the Clubhouse days. Big up Clubhouse. Ooh, tea time. But yes, today's topic is going to be loyalty, dependability, and trust. Can you relate? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and go straight into it. Of one, let me ask you real quick, Undiscovered, what does loyalty mean to you? I'm asking you just because you're here, and I'm like, I'm gonna explain what loyalty means to me. So what does loyalty mean to you, boss? And yes, I have kids, so you might hear them in the background. They might run into the room. If they do, cool beans. Y'all get to see them. Y'all get to hear them. I really don't care. I'm at this point in my life where I'm unapologetically who I am. So if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. You can easily exit stage left anytime that you want. So with it, while he's over there typing, because TikTok they type, me for loyalty, when it comes down to loyalty, that right there is equivalent to how you would think that family would be. With family, a lot of times you would think that you would have that loyalty. That loyalty meaning that you have their back. If they're going through something or they need something, you're there for them within a reasonable manner. Of course, you have to have your boundaries. You have to understand that what you will and will not do, for what you will and will not tolerate, what you will and will not do. Now, with that, for me, the loyalty is knowing that the person is there. They have your back whether you are in front of them or even if you're not there. To me, that is what loyalty is. Now, in these days and age, there really is no loyalty. You don't see very much loyalty left in the world. And when there is loyalty, it's individuals who have some type of ties with the individuals, or either the loyalty is not true loyalty. It's more along the lines of, what can I gain from this person? What's good, Sable? So, I mean, that's something that I really have to stress about from things that I have learned in my time of being on this planet, on this earth. Loyalty in this day and age really does not mean anything, because people do not honor loyalty. What they honor is, what can you bring to the table? What can you do for them? A lot of people. No, DGR. He yelled your live broadcast. It's very exciting. You can join our team. Nah, I'm good. Thank you, though. I'm just here to pass a message. That's my goal, and that is what I'm going to do. Loyalty. Loyalty these days is not really seen. Loyalty is not so much based off of the relationship you have with an individual, but more along the lines of what you can get from the person. That's how a lot of individuals view loyalty these days. What can this person do for me? Now, with it, there are a majority who do not think that way. And with that, I thank you wholeheartedly. I thank you. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But it does not change the fact that majority think that way. Majority are, what can this person do for me? What can I get from this person? How can this person elevate me to where it is that I'm trying to go? Undiscovered, your loyalty is exactly what you described. It's how you can benefit someone else, which isn't necessarily. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but for me, in this day and age, when loyalty comes down to what can a person do for you, you can't really say that is, honestly, you can't really say that that's loyalty. Now I'm going to contradict myself because of the fact that that's, like I said, I'm not contradicting myself, because I did not say that's what loyalty is. That is what loyalty is seen as these days. These days, loyalty is seen as, what can a person do for me? How can I benefit from this individual, or what it is that they bring to the table? Loyalty should not be that. Loyalty should be based off of the relationship and that trust and dependability. Yo, so I'm seeing that I have bots in here now, which, if y'all gonna be spamming, we're gonna go ahead and remove y'all. All right. So I'm like, if that's what's gonna happen, we're just gonna go ahead and remove. And with that, I'm having fun removing. Unlock those bots. I'm blocking them already, boss. I'm already on it. I'm already on it. And I don't play that. I have reached a different time in my life to where I'm just like, you know what, scratch that, not doing it. Exit stage left, like I said earlier. Now going on, like I said, loyalty. Loyalty should not be what a person can do for you. Loyalty, what I feel, I don't even want to say feel. Loyalty is based off of a relationship, the relationship you have with the individual. Loyalty, dependability, and trust, it comes down to that relationship. American ideals does play a big part in that. Only because I can only speak for America at this point in my life. I can only speak for America. I have been unattached to a lot of other countries. There has not really been loyalty in the society, and it sucks that the fact that when you're younger, you don't really think about what loyalty is. And I mean, even when it comes down to, like, let's talk about gangs real quick. There's no loyalty in gangs because it's so much about what can I get out of this? What can this person do for me? How am I going to come up? They're really just thinking about those fast movements, fast money, fast cars, fast women, fast guys too. I'm like, shoot, you don't know what they into. Same thing with the military. The military is the same way. There is no loyalty. It's honestly just comes down to what can I get from this situation. I've been used in multiple situations in the military. It was crazy. I mean, I have junior Marines and sailors who saw the things that I did, but then people above me end up taking all the credit. It was wild. Even most people have their own subjective criteria of standards they would want people to meet. Yes, but that comes down to having expectations. When you have expectations, it leads to disappointment. So having those expectations is going to mess a lot of things up as well. What's up, flip flopping? Having expectations is going to mess things up also. There's a lot of things that come down to loyalty that is going to mess things up. But at the same time, there's a lot of things with loyalty that can push you further. You're not going to sit here and be loyal to someone who is constantly discrediting you. You're not going to be loyal to someone who is talking behind your back, which is showing that they're not loyal. That's why you can be loyal to someone, and it can be taken for granted. That's how they always say, don't take my kindness for weakness. But the issue that you see a lot is a lot of people who are kind. Now, there's a difference between being nice and being kind. Nice is one of those fake things. Kind is genuine who you are. Individuals who are kind often get taken advantage of because of the fact that a lot of people do not think that there will be any repercussions, or that these people are going to sit here and allow it to happen because of the fact that, you know what, I don't want to be seen as a bad person. With me personally, I don't give a fuck if you think I'm a bad person. That's where I'm at in life. I don't care if I don't give a flying fucking monkey if you think I'm a bad person. If you come against me and mine or anything that I believe in, best believe I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you about it first. And if you can do that again, then it might turn physical. True talk, no lie. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna sit here and sit on disrespect. I'm like, look, I'm sick and tired of acting nice. Remember how I said there's a difference between kindness and niceness. Niceness is that fake shit. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and I am a kind individual, but with it, people will try and take the kindness for weakness. And with that, the reason that I am the way that I am is because of shit that I have been through in the past. So with that, I am genuinely a kind individual, but I have reached a point to where I'm sick and tired of motherfuckers being unloyal, being ungrateful, and with it, making it to where I have no trust. So with that, I will say fuck you. And if I gotta punch you in the fucking face, I'll look. Tell you once, what is it? How that saying go? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. There ain't gonna be no fooling me 3 times, you know. So with that, I lay that right there. How we used to say on Clubhouse, I lay the plane. You know what I'm saying, but yes, true talk, no lie. Rolling in on loyalty. I'm gonna go ahead and close out on loyalty real quick, so that we can move to the next one. Loyalty. No, I know you know what I'm talking about. Loyalty. Me and my wife, my kids, we have a sweatshirt that says blood, or we say bond is thicker than blood. And then we say loyalty can be stronger than family. And with that, or no, loyalty does not mean family, and a bond is stronger than blood. Loyalty does not mean family, and a bond is stronger than blood. And with that, I mean, that goes to prove I've had people in my life who were not family who I get along better with and talk to and trust and confide in them more than I do with family. Now, granted, me and my mom, our relationship is very, very well. I talk to my mom almost every day. Love my mom. She helps me out in many situations, and sometimes she calls me and she's like, "I just need to vent." I was like, "I got you," and she'll end up letting it all out, and I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm like, "You feel a little better?" She's like, "I really do. I just need to get that off." I'm like, "Hey, I understand. I get it. I get it." And that's the crazy thing. Like, I have people who call me just to let things off their chest. It's because strangers often have a more benevolent value system. I also feel that when it comes down to strangers, individuals are more open with strangers because of the fact that they feel they're never going to see them again, or either even if you were to see them again, chances are a person might not remember you. Me personally, if someone's venting to me, I'm not going to remember it. I purposely make it my mission to deal with them right then and there at that time. Once that is done, I don't remember it. The reason I don't remember it is because I'm never going to throw something back at your head. There's also less bias and less expectation. There is. But staying on, like I said, I was going to close on loyalty, and then I was going to move to the next part, which was going to be dependability. So closing with loyalty. Loyalty is one of those things that's like a double-edged sword. You can be loyal to somebody and they can completely f you over on the backside. You can be loyal to somebody and the whole time you find out you're being loyal to them and you thought that you all had this loyalty to one another. They can be screwing you over with 10 dicks and no lube. For sure. Facts. And with that, I'm gonna move into the next one, dependability, which I feel ultimately is a bystander of loyalty. I feel like that is attached to loyalty. That's part of loyalty. With that, I want to try something real quick. Let me see something. I want to see if I can do something real quick. I'm probably gonna be bad for this. Probably ain't gonna work. But yes, if you want to jump up into the box, you definitely can. All you gotta do is throw that in. What's up, Melly? How you doing? Going on to dependability. Dependability to me is when you're able to depend on a person to where if you need something, or even if you need something, the person is there for you, whether that is asking a favor, whether that is needing to talk. I cannot say anything because dependability is a product of someone's mental health being met and also having a strong support. Yes, I agree. I agree completely. With dependability, that is someone's mental health being met and also having a strong support. Yes. So therefore, you're the person, you or the other individual. Shoot, when it comes down to it, my dogs are I can depend on my dogs. I can depend on my dogs. When I say dogs, I'm talking about literally those dogs. Because if I'm having a hard time, I know I can turn to them and they're always going to be there. And honestly, they come to me before I even seek out them. I love my dogs. I'm not going to lie. I love my dogs more than I love people at this point. But what's good? How y'all doing? If anything, y'all can go and hit the hearts. Please do me a favor. Do not send any gifts. Don't send any gifts. If y'all want to do anything, just send it. Hit hearts. That works great. Plus, at the same time, you'll go ahead and work the algorithm. If y'all want to comment to add anything, y'all can do that or read it to me. Y'all can be part of this podcast discussion. Okay. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Going in, what's up, Pretty and Ink? How you doing, love? We're talking about dependability right now. We just got done talking about loyalty. Today's topic is loyalty, dependability, and trust. So by all means, tap in, chime in. Anything that you type is going to read it to me, and we can go ahead and discuss that. You feel me? And yes, I cut the locks off. I know that's probably going to be the one things that you say. Pretty and Ink yelled I. Yeah, and of course, Samira comes in and says, "Oh my God, where's your hair?" I chopped it the fuck off. I've been holding too much and the shit was aggravating the fuck out of me, so I chopped it off. I'm growing it back because my head looks really fucking weird and I can't fit any of my hats with it. Okay. I'm a request an invite on stage. All right, that's fine. Go ahead, request an invite on stage. But yes, I had to chop it off, Samira. I couldn't hold all of that anymore. And I mean, that comes down to part of the topics that I'm doing right now: the loyalty, trust, and dependability. So with it, what's goody? We got Undiscovered in the building. What's good? How you doing, boss? Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Okay. So yes, on to dependability right now. Well, tell a nigga next time. Why do I need to tell you that I'm cutting my hair? What is that going to benefit you, Samira? How is that going to benefit you if I tell you that I'm cutting my hair? Not a damn thing.
I don't think it really matters. I mean, you don't look that much different.
Yes.
Like,
you good. But we're gonna move off the locks. We're gonna move off the locks. Every time I'm gonna answer this real quick for Samira. She's over here on Facebook. She's like, every time I see you, it's something new. Yes, it is something new. You know why? Because I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly coming into who I am. Every day I strive to be at least 1% better than I was the day before. Tell Mama I said hi. I'll let her know when I see her again.
Since you cut your hair, it's probably time.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna let you know right now. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on a podcast episode, which I will be streaming live as well. It's not my podcast, but I'm going to be able. I think I'll have streaming rights. I'm not sure. I'll find out. But he's doing a topic called yo-yo and what's your mentality. I asked him today just to make sure I was understanding what he was talking about, and he confirmed. So yo-yo mentality is constantly bouncing back from where it was that you were. And what's your mentality? There's a lot of individuals who are doing things because they see somebody else doing it. Ultimately, be your own individual. If you feel that it's time for you to cut yours, so be it. But I cut mine off for a reason. I cut mine off because me and you have had conversations. There was a lot of things I was holding on to. And with it, on the weekends, I work overnight. And with that, a lot of those thoughts and things will go through my head. And also with my locks, during that I have had, you can tell where the was being held at because my locks were thinner at that time. That's why I cut my locks off. Because I felt that was also one of the things that kept making me relive and rethink of those situations. I need to exactly. Hair holds memories, and with that, I had to let it go. So that's the reason why I cut mine off. I didn't break the promise that I locked into my hair when I got my hair locked. Hence why I don't call it dreads. So that's the reason why I got mine chopped off. And then with them, I have them in a bag in the garage right now. But I'm gonna burn those bad boys, and the garage is not attached to where I'm at. But I'm gonna burn those and everything. Burn it with some sage and some rose petals just to go ahead and let all that energy out. Because I'm not, like I said, every day I strive to be at least 1% greater than I was the day prior. Now again, I'm going back to the topic of dependability. With that, I know that what I was able to do with chopping my locks off, I was able to depend on myself to do what is best for myself. Dependability. Ooh.
Okay, so you go first. I'm still trying to get my thoughts together.
About what? Me cutting my hair? I'm joking. I'm fucking with you. Whenever you want to come down, Samira. Why don't I what?
If you're feeling yourself, then you might as well apply to a modeling agency.
I'm not feeling myself like that. I was just saying. I was like, because you brought up the me and my hair thing when I was talking to Samira, and then we kept on it for a second. Whenever you want to come down, Samira, all you gotta do is let us know. Oh, thank you, babe. I appreciate that. I mean, you do make me smile, shawty. Sorry. And that is all that I ask. Let it go.
So for dependability, in my honest opinion, I feel like there's a variety. There's a variables that really factor into if someone can be dependable, right? So charity is probably the first thing that comes to my mind. Is someone charitable, right? Are they kind, right? Are they willing to do nice things without the expectation for something in return?
Okay.
That's one part of it. Another part of it is how good is that person's support system? Because quite frankly, I don't really believe in heroes. Like you always hear people saying God is his strongest battles to his strongest soldiers. And while I don't deny that, I really do believe that someone's support system, in the instance that they are a kind and charitable person, that determine how dependable they will be for maybe emotional support, financial support, even living support. Like, are they willing to even let you stay with them, or and feed you, let alone
that part. Okay, good. I'll let you know. I saved up for it. So you guys
and also, I would also factor in how well is this person treat other people, and kind of like that person's reputation. Are they do they have a track record or a reputation for being dependable individuals? So there's other things, and like there's probably even more than what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a few things that come to mind. What you know.
Now, with the dependability, I agree with that. I agree with that. The track record, how would you, are you talking about an individual track record, like a personal track record, the things that they have done for you, with you, things along those lines? Or are you talking about when it's based upon other individuals?
It's probably based on other people
Mm-hmm.
because so much track record with other individuals is going to give you a pretty good insights for how they're most likely going to treat you, right? Like patterns, you know, a tree lies fruits, right?
Yes.
Patterns are a big thing when it comes to nature, right? It's like
These are creatures of habit.
right. So there's
And there's patterns in the habits.
The apple doesn't
Far,
fall
far
far
from the
from the
tree.
tree.
It's funny you say that because there's an apple at the top right of the screen.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
Oh, you saw it? You saw it?
That went over my own. You know, if it looks like a duck, if it smells like a duck,
it must be a turkey.
You said, huh? You said what?
It must be a turkey.
Oh, yeah. More than likely.
I know.
So there's that, you know. So just utilizing these sayings we've heard, right? These you know, worldly, philosophical proverbs that we've heard growing up. It's like these things tend to have a lot of truth to them. Like I said, a person's track record with others, it massively, it's going to give you a pretty accurate outlook for how they're going to treat you, you know.
Now, I have something to ask on that one. When you're talking about dependability based off when them dealing with somebody else, are you going off of the things that they're saying that happened with the other person, or what the other person is saying, or something that you have observed? Because if you think about it, there's always their side, your side, and their side. There's always three sides. So I mean, and if you're on the outside looking in, now there's four sides, because you might be looking at what you think is really going on, but then there's also that person's side, the other person's side, and then still the truth. So I mean, that's things to look at. So you can't, when it comes to dependability like that, you still have to listen to a person's word. Now, if it's somebody that you personally know, you would end up being a little biased based off of the way that they have felt or things that they have said or done with you, which means that they might have been trying to perceive themselves as this saint with you. How you doing, Heaven? But also at the same time, they could have been a straight freaking monster with somebody else. So now you're thinking that they're this whole saint. So everything that they're saying or things that you see, you're blaming the other person, just like they're blaming the other person. When in all honesty, you might be getting fooled. So when it comes down to the dependability, how can you really rate that? How can you really judge that?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
That's what I do.
So I would say the best way to judge stuff is you have to give things time. You've heard me kind of talk about this a little bit before, right?
Yes.
And again, I'm not pushing this on anyone. Like you can feel free to have your own criteria that you utilize to assess and discern situations, but there's a bit of that I personally subscribe to when it comes to dealing with friends of any category or kind. And it's a pretty simple one. It's like prove a friend and be not hasty to friend, right? Because it's like you said, you can look for a short amount of time, you know. Like you remember our conversations on Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, we've had plenty.
It's like you have people who say like, "Oh, my wife is a narcissist. My husband is a narcissist," but you can't assess that within a 3-month time period.
That part.
That's literally someone is a toxic person. That is usually done after a consistent training. We're talking about at least a year of consistent behavioral patterns. 3 months is just not long enough to determine if someone is a narcissist or not. You know?
And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna touch on that part real quick about the dependability. Just like you said, I'm like, even when it comes down to relationships, I hope that you would vet somebody you would end up talking with them, you would end up spending time with them, because nobody can fake it forever, you know. At some point they're gonna slip and show you who they truly are. And one of the things that, like, my sister always used to say, and I say as well, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Now, with it, it's interesting in the fact, because you have some individuals who will be blaming everything on somebody else, but then as time goes on, you find out that they are the culprit of all the things that they were saying that somebody else was doing.
Right.
So now you have to sit there and wonder, like, well, dang, what all was really cracking on that? Like, for example, I had an ex, Jenny, and me and her were like best friends for like 10 years. This was all over, like, over the phone. We video chat and everything. She was on the East Coast, I was still on the West Coast, and she would always tell me about all the things other people were doing, all the things that was going on in her family, whatever, whoopty woo, and how she felt like the black sheep, and everybody was just always hated her, and she felt like everything that was happening, everybody tried to make it seem like it was always her fault. And I was always giving words of encouragement, like, yo, whatever, whoopty woo, such and such, like, hey, it's gonna be all right. And then me and her decided to become, like, actually date once before. That relationship lasted about 3 months. I'll take that back, about 4 months. Relationship lasted about 4 months, because with that, she's now by me and I'm seeing everything that's going on. And I was like, I cannot depend on your word because of the fact that I'm seeing the way that you are acting. Still staying on the topic of dependability. This with it, that's what made me start realizing, like, well, damn, a lot of things that you were saying in the past, like, okay, cool, you're always playing the woe is me, but for every action there is a reaction. So therefore, what were you doing that caused these things to happen? And then with this person living with me, I started seeing how a lot of the things that she was doing and the things that would end up happening, and then she would complain about how the things that were happening to her. And it's like, you realize that you did this and this and this, which is causing this and this and this to happen, right? Like, so therefore at that point, it's like my eyes started to be like open up wide. Now granted, I got like little Asian eyes, but them bitches looked like anime eyes at the time, to weigh on the spiritual realm. I was seeing everything that was happening, you know. So I was just like, yo, what the world? I was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, you went and was upset at your parents and everything and decided to drink heavily, then go out to a party when you were already intoxicated, driving to that party, drank more there, and then you end up slamming into a mailbox and getting a DUI. And then you want to get mad at everybody else because they're disappointed in your actions. At the time, I didn't know all of that. But then speaking with her family and everything and understanding everything that happened, it was like, yo, at the time, it was just along the lines of, I got a DUI and everybody cut me off. And they're making me feel like I'm the lowest of low. And it's just like, yo, I'm sorry. Bad things happen to all of us, but they shouldn't just cut you off. But then later on to find out that there's a whole lot more that came down to that story that was left out. So then it's just like, dang, I'm at the point now where when people tell me sob stories, I'm like, but what did you do? Because of the fact that anytime something happens, a lot of individuals are going to speak in ways that makes them look okay, that makes them look good. So it's like, even if it's someone who I am loyal to and they tell me things, I am still going to question what it is that they're saying, because they may slip up and tell the truth rather than actually, they might slip up and tell the truth besides how they're trying to tell me the things to have me on their side, because people want people to validate them or make them feel good, or at the same time have their back, defend them, when they're not telling the truth and everything that is going on. So with that, I'm going to play devil's advocate. And you might think that I am not loyal and not on your side because how much I'm questioning you. But the thing you have to worry about is individuals who are telling the truth do not mind being questioned. It's oftentimes the liars who get offended. So can I depend on your word? Do you have accountability? Are you open and honest with your communication of what was? If not so, and I end up seeing the holes in it, I'm going to expose those holes, which is the reason why I'm hated. When you are a person who sees things for what it is and you ask these questions, you're going to be hated. And at this point, I'm perfectly fine with being hated. Like I said, I am coming in and I am accepting the light and the dark in me. For it's impossible for somebody to shine light if they've never been in darkness. Because as soon as something hits hard, they're going to and wonder why the world is against them. But once you understand that, you know what, it's a balance. In order to become balanced, you must first be imbalanced. So if you're unbalanced, if I'm tilted like this, I'm unbalanced. So for me to get balanced, I must go like this, right? There's no way that you come into the world like this. Even babies don't come into the world like that, because you smack them, they start crying, and you're wondering what's wrong with them. There's already judgment. They're already imbalanced because they're trying to figure out, how the fuck do you not know why I'm crying? Like, I don't understand. Like, wham, motherfucker, wham. Like, I need something, but everybody else is looking at them like, yo, what do they need? They're not sucking on the titty. Like, what the fuck's happening?
For sure. Is it cool if I chime in on that?
Go ahead, my guy. Go ahead.
So for medical points, it's like, is someone willing to be open and honest and even provides insight that gives the third party perspective as to what their struggle is, even potentially admitting things that they could have done that were not okay, right? Most people want to feel good. I just talked about this when I was doing my group therapy program last month for a couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
Everyone wants to feel good. It's like so many people, it's like, you've heard of the stages of grief. There's like, what, 5 stages of grief? There's anger, resentment, denial. I don't know, but you've heard. Right?
Sure, I can look it up real quick.
When someone is trying to, their own process of healing, accountability can be very challenging for.
Yo, what's up, Hicksy? How you doing? So what's good? The topic tonight is loyalty, dependability, and trust. Can you relate? Right now, he just brought up the stages of grief. I'm looking that up, and we're gonna hit on that. But go ahead and continue on Discovered.
Yeah. So, like I said, like someone that's heard their healing, accountability is going to be very difficult, challenging, and face down. There's going to be a lot of pride, a lot of ego.
Yes.
That prevents them from being honest because their initial purpose is
much love and appreciate it, boss.
So there's going to be some denial. If I'm being brutally honest, there's going to be denial for a third amount.
So I wanna ask the other two that are in the panel right now. Hicksy, so he just went ahead and touched on to the 5 stage of grief, which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Do you have anything to add on that, or either onto loyalty and dependability?
Because you can look at it from so many different contexts,
and that's how we do.
Speaking from a personal perspective, I think that makes sense here because I was already here. But I think acceptance comes a lot sooner. I think the stages of grief are particularly in a set order for every single person. I think the topics, the points of dealing with grief are all in those 5. But I think that in order, so acceptance of a situation comes a lot sooner.
Yes.
And what to begin with. What the general trend tends to be.
Yeah. So Undiscovered says the stages of grief is not the same for everyone, sure, but the general trend tends to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's not the same for everyone, but yeah, we talk in the general context. I step away from grief. I'm more focusing on the positive elements of life at the moment.
Okay. Well, with you saying that, I'm gonna interrupt you and bring you back onto a more positive thing. What is your definition of loyalty? I hear you, Eduardo.
Undiscovered yelled for sure. Please continue.
Committing to a person within a relationship is committing and showing to doing the right thing by intentionally setting them. We do things that are set all the time.
Facts.
Loyalty is about committing to that. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
You're in something for the long term. You're not here just to get something from. Loyalty is about not what you can get from something, but what you can also give.
And that's exactly what I said earlier. That's perfectly fine, Undiscovered. I appreciate you for stopping by. Much love, King. Much love. And with that, safe travels to wherever you may be going. All right. But yes, that's exactly what I had said earlier. I was like, loyalty is not so much loyalty in this day and age happens to be of people looking at what they can get from somebody or how a person, what they can benefit from someone. A lot of individuals these days are looking for those views, those likes, and those clicks. So they will use individuals for those types of things. Or everything now has to be, if nobody else sees it, then it didn't matter. And that's what a lot of people try and throw loyalty in with. Like, okay, yeah, I was loyal to you, but at the same time, what did you do for me? Or something along those lines. And it's sad to say. But I also had said, I was like, look, loyalty right there. Me and my family, we have a sweatshirt and it says loyalty is stronger. It says loyalty is stronger than family, and blood is a bond is stronger than blood. And with that, it's like, look, you can be loyal to individuals who are not family. Yo, what's goody? Is that who I think it is? Is that my big little bro? But when it comes down to dependability, which was the next topic, for me, that's what we were talking about when you came in, and he ended up going into the 5 stages of grief. With dependability, there's a lot of individuals. What's happening, boss? There's a lot of individuals where you have to question them just to make sure, because there are individuals who will not show you who they truly are, and time will go by, and eventually they end up showing who they truly are. With that, you have to always question things, because it sucks that the fact you cannot just be blank, you cannot fully trust somebody with everything, the things that they say, things that they do, because they might be trying to pull the wool over your eyes and trying to recruit some flying monkeys, recruit people to be on their side when they may be in the wrong. I've had situations like that in the past. So when it comes down to dependability, yes, you were like this in the past, you're like this, but you always need to question people. Okay, come on, baby girl. Hold on, I gotta get the baby girl, and the boy should be here too.
Yeah, he's coming.
Oh, all right, night.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned about
Night.
questioning everything.
Yes.
In that,
Close the door behind you, okay?
if we look at a scientific view, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole purpose of science is not to sit there and prove you are right. It is there to experiment until you cannot prove yourself wrong any further.
Yes.
And behavioral psychology is a science.
It is. It's the science of the mind.
Correct. I think it's important. All we put trust in each other and other people and friends and family, etc. We still, whether subconsciously or consciously, we will every day still ask questions in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
And each day continue to prove that the worst case scenario is wrong, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It's the same thing as having the worst in the front of your mind, but thinking of the best in the back. So that way, no matter what happens, you're not caught off guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eduardo, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just making supper. Just got your thing that I
Mm-hmm.
invited. Okay, so for me, I believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about loyalty, to me it's making a commitment to somebody. Till like I was married before.
Yes. So was I.
I believe that when you make a commitment to God, it's for life. But I was married 18 years. I was with my ex-wife 20 years, and everybody always asks me, "Well, what happened?" Is that God gave us free will.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of temptation out there.
Facts.
And just like
Right. Yo.
it's lost. So that's one of my stories.
Mm-hmm.
Until the other person uses her loyalty.
And so, go ahead. Sorry. So what does loyalty look like to you? Because you said until they lose their loyalty, but when you stated loyalty is
Temptation out there.
yes.
Temptation out there. With a lot of these women, it seems like
let's not even just go with like a relationship like that. Just in general, loyalty. So if we're not talking about just a relationships.
Loyalty comes from, like your foundation.
Mm,
If you're the type of person that's been loyal, like, just in relationship, for
mhm.
example, with my job too. I've been with my job 14 years.
Yes.
I'm loyal to them. They've been loyal to me. They've provided with my income all these years. And, so I stay loyal to them. I've
Okay.
never like been looking for better somewhere else. My comfort is there. It provides me with what I need in my life.
Mhm.
So I stay loyal. You understand? It's just
Yeah.
like in a relationship. If in your relationship you're getting out of it what you want, why would you be looking elsewhere or to break it off?
And that is the main reason why I brought up this topic today, because as I stated before y'all jumped in, that's a lot of things that you see in this day and age. A lot of people think that loyalty is what am I getting out of this? Which, for example, let's say that I think I'm being loyal to Hicksy, to the real Hicksy, and the real Hicksy is what can I get from this individual? How is this person benefiting me? While this whole time I'm there for you. You call me, I got you. You need a ride to the airport, I got you. Hey, you hit hard times, you need somewhere to sleep, I got you. And for him, it's more along the lines of, all right, cool. I want to go out drinking. I need someone to drive for me. Okay, bet. Hey, can you drive? All right, cool. Things along those lines. A lot of times in this day and age, people will play as if they're loyal just to use individuals until they get what they want or until they find something better.
The type of person that always gives,
Mm-hmm.
and when I want to receive, I don't feel like I get.
You don't get it back. And that's where that term "don't take my kindness for weakness," how I spoke about earlier before y'all jumped on as well, where I have come to the point where I understand. I'm like, you know what? There cannot be light without darkness. So I have to understand both sides of me. That's the reason why for me now, I'm just like, you know what? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'm like, shame on you. There's never going to be a fool me three times.
My cutoff game is really good.
My guy, you better cut it. Hey, true talk, no lie. Okay, that's fine.
My cutoff game is really good. So
Thank you for jumping in, Hicksy.
I give and give, and when I reach my tolerance level,
Yes.
that's it. I just cut them off.
Thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it.
You know.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. Have you noticed as well when it comes down to the trust, which is going to be my third talking point for this podcast episode that I'm doing. When it comes down to the trust, that also comes down to the boundaries. When you lay your boundaries down, that's when you start realizing a lot of people really were not there for you, because now the trust is gone. They no longer trust you to be around. They no longer trust you with certain things because of the fact that they're afraid that you will say no, or either the fact that you will not stand up you will not stand and tolerate the things that you would before.
Yes, for sure. For sure. And I've recently been going through a lot of soul searching, thinking about how to improve my life so that I can be a better person. I've been single for 10 months now.
Nice.
And it's I'm the type of person, I've always been in relationships most of my life since I was like 15 years old. It's not very long to stay single, but this time I decided it's time that I need to step up my game and try to become a better person.
Respect.
Even though I think I'm a decent person, but I think I need to be a stronger person. I need to be more, not just let people, share with more quality people than before.
Yes, quality over quantity for sure. And I mean, I've noticed as well in this lately, it seems like there's a lot of individuals who actually care, who give a fuck. They are, what's the word I'm looking for? They are more contempt with having having fewer people around them. They are more comfortable with a smaller quantity of people, but with a greater quality. The quality of people that they keep around them is a lot higher and stronger than the quantity. There's individuals like for me, I don't have enough people around me that I trust, can depend on, and who I'm loyal to, and they are loyal to me, because I won't do anything for somebody that they have not shown that they would do for me. And that's just how I operate at this point. But with it, I don't have enough people around me to say I have a full circle. I got like maybe 3 people, and with that, that's a triangle, my guy. You understand? So
That's like two people more than
hey, but at the same time, as long as you have yourself, which is one thing that's amazing, when you have yourself, you know that you're not going to do anything to upset yourself. You know you're not going to do anything to steer yourself off path. At least you should not want to if you have goals and aspirations. Yeah. Anything that you want is something that same.
Supposedly, they say we have trust issues.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having trust issues. That means that you are big on questioning. You are big on questioning because of the fact that it's like, look, you're gonna have to show me where you stand. I'm not just gonna believe what you say. You're gonna have to show me, because actions speak louder than words.
Words are stronger than actions are stronger than words. Right?
Yes, exactly. So there's nothing wrong with that. Exactly, and then you have the question, like, what does the word love even mean to you? Because I mean, if you're running around calling everybody babe, like if yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I want to be honest. I want to be authentic. I don't want to just lie and tell them I love them. To me, love is a very powerful word.
Yes.
For me, I just do not know what people do.
And I'm like, hate is a very strong word too, but I really, really, really don't like
exactly.
you.
that word hate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I get a little fancy with it. I'm like, I loathe you. Synonym. But yes, true talking a lie. But hey, I thank you for jumping on. I was doing a live podcast episode, and you are on it as well. So with that, it's gonna be on YouTube. It's also gonna be on Spotify. For just audio. So, I mean, I appreciate you for coming in and tapping in. I mean, every Wednesday I'm going to start doing this, and I have a live panel every Saturday, which is actually.
It's the first time I heard you seen something about you, but hey, you can message me or whatever.
Okay, most def. Let me see. I'm not sure if I actually have you friends. Hey, I know you said you was cooking. I was like, yo, but yes, most def.
Instead of being at home, being all, depressed, too much in my head.
Yes.
I go to church regularly. That's one thing I've been doing to heal. And also, I've been going to the gym 5 days a week.
Nice. Transforming yourself.
Social media, TikTok. I'm partying.
You said you out partying?
Doing the raves,
Oh, I love raves.
You don't need a partner to dance. You just listen to the music and then you feel it. It makes you feel good. Takes you out of that.
Yes, it does. And it's funny you say that, because when I was in the Marine Corps, I went to Freak Nights, Paradiso, Base Canyon, all those things in the US. And when it comes
check my TikTok posts, you're gonna see all summer I went to outdoor raves. I've been I was in Scream last weekend for Halloween. That was awesome.
I had the most recent one. I go by myself also. I might have to I might have to link up with you. I'm gonna message you and see where you are. We might be able to link up and do like a rave or a festival together. I am in South Carolina.
Yeah, so how can you link up? All you do is post a video and I'll see it, and I'll post a video and you see it.
But that's the thing though, because I like to travel. You know, I'm sure you hear about how America's going. I'm trying to get the hell out of this country, so I'm going as much as I can.
To beaches.
Oh.
I just want to meet the sun, like I'm a sun worshiper.
I love the sun as well. I'm a tropical person by heart. I grew up in Hawaii. It really is. It really is. But we can talk about that all day. But I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead and finish cooking supper, boss. I'm gonna shoot you a message. All right. Yo, thank you again for stopping by. I appreciate it, boss. Respect. But yes, for everybody, this was another episode of Divine Time. Relax your mind. It's Divine Time. Peace, love, and greatness. Till I see you again. Go ahead. If you enjoyed the conversation, I'm gonna start doing this every Wednesday. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna be dropping episodes every day because I'm always talking with people. I'm always doing lives, and with that, I'm gonna bring it to y'all because the conversations that I have are very in depth. We go deep and we hear a lot of different people's viewpoints and perspectives. People, for example, Undiscovered. I've known him from Clubhouse. The Great Hicksley. I met him on TikTok, and Eduardo. That was my first time ever speaking to him. Never spoke to that man before in my life. So, I mean, that's what I do. I'm constantly meeting people. I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly hearing different viewpoints and seeing how that possibly may end up reflecting into my life or how I can possibly use the things that they said and put it into practice. So, I mean, with all means, if you like that, go ahead. All I ask is that you comment. You ain't got to share and do all the extra stuff. Just comment. If you comment, that will make it to where I can see it and we can have a conversation. Because my biggest thing is I need intellectual stimulation in order to really function. It helps keep me out of depression. That's the reason why I do these things. I don't do this for money and all that stuff. There's people who are always constantly trying to catch a bag and whoop-de-woo. Yeah, that's cool and all, but I'm blessed personally. I don't need to do all that. Everything that I need, I already have. Things that I want, I can go and get. I mean, I did my time in the military, and I gotta say, the Marine Corps blessed me. I'll leave it at that. The Marine Corps blessed me. The Marine Corps blessed me with everything that has happened, allowing me to find my wife, allowing me to have my kids, and like I said, everything that I want, I already have. Everything that I need, I already have. Everything that I want, I can go and get easily. But with that, this was another episode of Divine Time. Leave a comment, like, share. The only way that's going to reach other people is if you share it or even if you like it so we can put it onto the algorithm. With everything that I say, relax your mind. It's Divine Time. Peace.